Check, check, check. Hello, everyone, and welcome to tonight's running of the Weekend Woodsman 100 right here at New Smyrna Beach in Florida, just before a hurricane decides to make ravage on this racetrack. But with me tonight, none other than my boy Will. How's it going, man?
Man, I'm happy to be back here. I came in a little bit late the last broadcast here in the Virtual Racing Association, but this is technically my home track, about 2 hours, 2.5 hours away from me here on the east coast of Florida. So I'm excited for the action here tonight.
Man, I think it's going to be great. This is week 11 here in the Virtual Racing Association, season 2 of this series. And, Will, I mean, we have seen it all here this season so far.
We really have. And although Caden Tufts is back to his winning ways here in the Virtual Racing Association, one team in particular has risen to the competition level here in the Virtual Racing Association, and that's Shift Esports. My hat is off to them. The way they have performed this season really put the pressure on Caden Tufts throughout. Caden still has his wins, still has his W's, if you will, but he's had to work for it this season, too.
He really has. And we're just looking at Dallas. My hand, while he was taking his qualifying laps, accidentally got into the wall. That's going to mess up his lap times. Currently in P6 as he's going to cross this line with a very slow lap time. But oh, and he's I saw there was a lot of damage to the right front of that car. But right now, Caden Tufts up on top. Chris Gutierrez in second. Talked to both of those guys last week. Johnny Eckert's here tonight in that number 90. We know he puts on a big show here against Caden Tufts. Adam Peeler on the track right now in that number 13. Let's see. So coming into tonight, um, Caden Tufts has all but been given the trophy. Uh, so who who are you watching out for tonight?
Ooh, that's an excellent question there, Tim. Of course, you're going to watch that 0-0, but as you mentioned, he's wrapped up the trophy here tonight. A few other names that stand out here tonight, of course, Johnny Eckert is back racing here in the Virtual Racing Association. He really puts it on Caden Tufts. You mentioned that. Gutierrez is very 99 machine as well. Seth Ross wants to show out for the Shift Esports team, of course, as Dallas Myhan is another name to watch out for. Dallas actually has a win in this season. Actually, I think it's either Dallas or Kian has a win this season for Shift Esports in these modifies, but watch out for that entire team here tonight if they can snatch one away from Caden.
Take a look real quick here at the points. If I could remember where it is. Am I blind? Uh, I know. I always lose. Discord servers. I always tend to lose where things are. Oh, here we go. I know where it is. I found it. All right. So looking at, let's see. Dallas Myhan has 2 wins on the season. Another driver that's got 2 wins that we haven't seen in recent weeks is Kian. Uh, Eckert has a win, and then 5 goes to Caden Tufts. So the rest of the field has won 5, and Caden Tufts has won 5 here at the Virtual Racing Association Season 2. I realize I just trailed off right there.
Yeah, taking a look here at qualifying. We're still waiting for a few other drivers to take the track here at New Smyrna. But it looks like that might be it for qualifying there, Tim. I don't see any more cars out on the track, and it looks like those times might be locked in.
Yeah, it looks like that's what's going to take place here because looking at they got about 30 seconds left. It's not even going to be enough to fire that baby up and take it one lap around. So rest of these guys just going to go off of where they're starting, and they're going to see how this goes. But luckily, everybody's going to get at least a fast repair, 100 laps. It's going to be interesting. Last week we had a great race. The whole season has been great. There's been a lot of great tracks that we have been to. Next week, the season finale to crown our champion will be at Five Flags right here on 10-4 Broadcasting. Also, I saw Our boy Conrad posted in season 3 signups, talking about get those number choices in, and the next season schedule is gonna be fire. So I'm excited to find out when that schedule will release, and when it does, we will be one of the first to let you know.
Yeah, I cannot wait for next season. As I mentioned to start this broadcast off here tonight, the competition level has risen here in the Virtual Racing Association. We saw Caden win 7 races last year, only has 5 victories this season, could tie that mark with 2 wins in these last 2 races of the season. But the competition level has definitely increased, and I cannot wait for next season to see even more competitors in this great league.
Yeah, I think next season. I think honestly, I think VRA next season will probably see itself have the most competitors that it's ever had. Because I know for one, I'm going to be pushing this series out there like no tomorrow because it's so much fun to watch these guys go around the track. And I'm going to actually in the off season of VRA, I'm going to do a little practice in these so that way I know more of what I'm talking about coming into each one of these tracks.
Yeah, I love these modified race cars. I've mentioned it a few times here in these broadcasts. It's almost like a mix between an Indy car, an F1 car, but then sort of like the engine and the builds of a stock car. You only have 2 gears in these things. I like to say fast and faster, but then you have to be very technical when you pass somebody here because you can't beat and bang these like a regular stock car. If you tap tires, you lock tires, you tap the wall just a little bit with these open wheel concepts, you're going to have trouble on your hands. We've seen it all season long, how tight you have to be in the corners, how calculated you have to be to get around somebody. That's what makes these modified race cars one of the most exciting cars in all of iRacing.
Yeah, out of everything that you've been involved in, Will, it's you're coming up on your year, we'll say year anniversary into broadcasting as a whole. You're all over the place now. You're over at Three Wide TV. You're over at I don't even know the other ones. I know they're all over the place, but you got to see quite a bit of different kinds of racing. What is your favorite vehicle to
that's
broadcast?
that's tough. I really love these modifieds. Um, I gotta say, I know it's not everybody's fan favorite, but I really love the next gen race cars. The way the drivers are really able to use that draft, use the side draft, use the draft coming off the back of those race cars, but really be able to still beat and bang them a little bit as well to get around somebody and not wreck somebody. I really feel like the build of the next gen cars really opens it up for a lot more speed and a lot more racing or competitiveness, if you will, throughout iRacing. I think once more people get comfortable with that race car, you're going to see it even more. But I gotta say, these modifieds are a very close second.
I have to agree with you. These cars are a lot of fun, but we are getting ready to take the green flag here at the weekend Woodsman 100. Caden Tufts and Chris Gutierrez leads it to the line, side by side coming to the green. And look at Johnny Eckert just diving down there, getting below. Oh no, Gutierrez is in the wall.
And you see the 99 of Gutierrez. That's going to bring out our first caution of the night right there. Couldn't even complete one lap here at New Smyrna. Already in trouble with the 99 right there. Not the start all these drivers hope for here tonight. As you mentioned, Tim, Caden Tufts is all but wrapped up the championship here in the Virtual Racing
Oh,
Association. Ooh, that's tough right there. I believe that's the 5 of Dallas. My hand just went up sideways there on the wall. That's just an innocent bystander coming up behind him there. Let's see what exactly caused that 5 to get right up onto the wall.
looked
See
like he
right there.
was trying to miss. You know what? Hold on. We're gonna stop this right here. It looked like there's maybe some. Where is Dallas? My hand. Oh, that's not Dallas. My hand. It's Cody McLean in the 5. That's who. I'm trying to see. I think there was some. What do we like to call it? Oh man. when it not when there's the connect where they hit but they don't hit.
Net code.
There you go. Net code. C comes up. I don't even think they hit.
I
I
think
it's very close. Let me see if I can't get a chopper view of this. Chase chopper. That's not good enough. Blimp. Yeah, see, I'm gonna do slow mo here. I don't think. Yeah, they didn't even touch. Not even close. Still had plenty of room, but once again, the infamous netcode has struck again.
Yeah, and that's unfortunate for that five machine of Dallas Mahan there. We spoke about how he's had a pretty successful season here for Shift
That's
Esports.
Cody McLean.
Oh, that's Cody McLean there in that five. Actually, Cody had a really good starting position here tonight.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see why he drifted a little bit. You got to feel even worse for that 99 of Gutierrez who started inside the front row.
Yeah, now back there all the way in the back, but don't count him out yet. He'll get back up there. He always tends to get into at least one small incident and then just brings it all the way back up front. And I expect to see him back up there in the middle, or in the. Oh man, I can't even talk tonight, Will. In the matter of no time. There we go. Whew, it was rough.
Yeah, here on lap 6, we're going to try to go green for just a little bit. Looks like we are cruising around the track right now. No chaos just yet here as we're going to complete one full lap around New Smyrna here as Caden Tufts, our leader, is leading them around the track right now. We have Johnny Eckert right there in the second position in that number 90 machine. He's trying to keep pace a little bit. He's got a teammate behind him, though, with Seth Ross. That's the Shift Esports machines just trying to climb up to Caden Tufts up there, try to make a move on him, if you will. Did you see that Dynasty Stock Car Racing sponsor right in front of Seth Ross right there? And Seth is trying to show out here tonight. A lot of his teammates have done really well this season, but Seth has yet to break through for Shift Esports.
Yeah, we're right on board with Seth Rawls right now. Let's take a look. I'm going to go take a look at the points and see where he may be. Seth Rawls actually sitting in 9th place. Looks like he's only missed 2 races so far. So that really, last week dropped him. He was in 4th place before he missed last week's race.
Yeah, and that's the one thing, you know, you can't really afford to miss a race, but in some instances, Tim, you know that Caden Tufts has got it locked up. You miss a race, you come back. But you see those Shift Esports drivers, you know, of course you have Seth Ross right there. You have Dallas Mahan, who's another one of those drivers as well. You know, they're inside of the top 5 right now. And I feel like if they can get up there to Caden Tufts there in that 00, they can make a move on him here in a few laps. But it's just all about reeling in everybody's second favorite Canadian there at the top of the grid right now. He's going to cross the line here on lap 13. Still our race leader by quite a margin right now. And when he gets up there in that open air, Tim, it's almost like he kicks open the lazy boy, he cracks open a beer, he puts some Sunday Night Football on, and he relaxes and chills inside of that open air because nobody has anything for him.
Now, I always forget to ask this, but now I remember. Who's our first favorite Canadian?
I would go with Drizzy Drake there.
Oh,
out of the 6 in Toronto.
I was going to say Jim Carrey, but all right.
See, everybody has a favorite Canadian. Caden Tufts is our second favorite Canadian.
All right, valid. Now it all makes complete sense now.
As we see still, that 00 of Caden Tufts is still leading us around New Smyrna here tonight. As mentioned, when we started off this broadcast, he's all but wrapped up the championship here. He's done so with a great effort this season, Tim. Not as many wins as last season with 5 wins on the season, but still a valiant effort here this season. It's held off the competition that's come from Shift Esports and other drivers respectfully this season, but still has been showing that speed here in the modifieds. He's actually racing stock cars as well for Oscar. He's in the rookie Oscar series here this year, so he's starting to feel out those stock cars a little bit, and if he can get the handle of those stock cars like he has these modifieds, everybody better watch out.
Yeah, he's doing a great job right now. He's up 2.2 seconds over Johnny Eckert. Johnny's probably back that far because of the situation that happened in front of him with the Gutierrez. So there's still plenty of time. Only hitting about coming to lap 20 here out of 100. The weekend Woodsman 100 live here on 10-4 Broadcast. I want to thank everybody who has come out tonight to check out the stream. Make sure you check us out on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Twitch, you can find us at 10-4 Broadcast, and everything else is 10-4 Broadcasting. And I have received the word, Will. You're going to be excited about this. It's something I've been working on for a long time. Next week, seems like we'll regain access to our Twitter account So we will be back
Ooh.
on the Elon Musk uh, internet, if you want to, if you'd like to call it that.
Yeah, and that's a long time coming for you, Tim. I know you've been trying to get that handle back for a while. I think your last post on there was right before COVID, so it's almost
Woo!
like your Twitter took a COVID break there for a while. It was about 2019 or 2018 was the last post on there.
Actually, it would have been right as COVID was happening because that's when 10-4 Broadcasting took off. Was May of 2019.
Right there
So
at the mark.
it was registered to somebody else's phone number, and I just couldn't get in it.
Yeah, you're gonna like it on Twitter. You know, it's a very good platform to connect with everybody. You can find me on there at WillTill93. That's at WillTill93 on there. I post all the broadcasting stuff, whether it's with 10-4 Broadcasting or any other coverage that I have going on there as well. But here on lap 25, we've reached the quarter mark here. 25 laps into this race here at New Smyrna. Still our leader is that 00. Everybody's favorite driver here in the modifieds. Maybe not everybody's favorite driver in the field as far as drivers go there, Tim, but I'd say this 00 definitely has some fans at home the way he races week in and week out. It's almost like he just knows these tracks at the back of his hand because it doesn't seem like he has any competition on some of these tracks. He just checks off like an Elon Musk rocket.
You know, I do have a question, Will, because you may know this statistic better than I do. Has anyone, okay, tonight might be the night, if it's not already happened, has there been a race where only the leader was on the lead lap?
Ooh, that's a great question there, Tim. I think it came very close. A few broadcasts me and you did, where it was only about 3 or 4 cars left on the lead lap, and I think it was at a road course.
Oh, you know what? Yes. I want to say it was with the Glen, I think.
I think so. Where our leader won by, I'd say about 15, 16 seconds, and
Yeah.
then third place was 24, 25 seconds off the pace. So only about 3 cars left on the lead lap. I think that's the closest we've ever been.
Okay, well, I'm looking at this tonight. He's about every 2 laps, he's gaining a whole second on these guys. So let's see, lap times they're running about 17.5 second lap time. So could be a matter of time before Caden Tufts puts the whole field in their place.
Yeah, here on lap, we're about 30
Woo!
laps in, 31 laps in right now. And we spoke to Caden about this before. You know, you think sometimes when you get out in this open area, you get all by yourself, the ADHD starts to kick in a little bit. You start to lose focus. You start thinking about other things. You start thinking about the basketball game that might be on. You might think about what you're going to have for dinner after this race. You might think about tomorrow. But Caden really seems to have that laser focus week in and week out. He never seems to make any mistakes at all. He hits every corner as clean as possible. It's almost like every lap he runs is the first lap on the racetrack.
Yeah, and right now, the time has started to slow down now. He's only gained about a half a second, about 4 laps. I'm trying to keep track of everything. Right now, Cody McLean and Edwards are at least 1 lap down. Actually, Chris Edwards in that number 72 has been in pit road since lap 7. So he has some major damage to that number 72 over at Extreme Motorsports. We've not seen Maddox in here in a while. He's had some computer problems. Mike Kaczynski in that number 30. He'll probably be back next season in these modifieds. Looks like also we're starting to catch Kenton, I believe, if I see him just in front. Actually, I think that is Cody McLean just in front of Caden Tufts right now.
Yeah, and you see right now we're going to ride on board with a few other drivers in the field here tonight. You still see the 90 of Johnny Eckert there in the 2nd position. Dallas Mayan down there in the 3rd. Seth Ross in 4th right there. And Adam Peeler down in 5th. Chris Gutierrez, after that early mistake there in the 99, has clawed his way back up into the top 5 as well. Just made a pass to get inside of that top 5. Even though Caden Tufts might have the win all but locked up, these drivers still want to finish this season strong here in the Virtual Racing Association, as you see a battle for position take.
Big battle back here, Will. I didn't realize this battle was ensuing with 5 cars. Woo!
Yeah, and you can tell these drivers, even though the 00 has it locked in, it has the championship trophy, has the championship rings, if you will. These drivers still want to race good here tonight. They want to scrap out a podium finish because they know every week that 00 is going to be the fastest car on the racetrack. It's kind of obvious at this point. The rest of these drivers want to race strong. You put in the time, you put in the effort, you put in the sacrifices to be able to race here tonight. You want to give it your all here in these modifieds, and we're seeing it right now. This is a battle taking place right here.
Man, side by side. Peeler and Tarble going at it. The number 69 and the number 13. 13 drifts up the track a little bit. He's got to make sure he don't clip that wall. And that 69's got to make sure he doesn't clip the 13. But that 69 is holding that inside lane. But Peeler gets such a run off the corner, able to clear him on the front stretch. Coming down into turn 1 and 2, and now that number 14 is right on the back bumper of Jordan Tarble.
And you see right there trying to give Jordan Tarble all he can handle right there. Now this is a battle for lower positions on the grid right there. This is 7th and 8th, a battle taking place right here. Trying to get on the inside of the 13 as the 13 bounces up the wall.
And that's going to be a caution right there. Caution number 2 here, lap 44. Ethan got into the outside wall. I'm going to go ahead and go back and take a look at that. We see it happen quite a bit at this track. Actually, a couple of tracks that we've gone to. Coming out of turn 2, gets just too high. Those tires grip that wall, and up and away she goes. And you see Alex just go to the inside, and 14 could have saved it, but sometimes it's just so difficult when you're coming off of a wall straight down onto the track. There's just almost nothing you can do there.
No, not at all there, as we have our second caution of the night right now. As you start to see some drivers head down pit road, looks like those damaged race cars are going to head down. Looks like our leader is going to stay out there. Jordan Tarble is going to be right behind Caden Tufts with Ken right there as well.
Well, Will, while we're under caution, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back after these messages.
Be sure to check out Tim Mayo Conrad and the Weekend Woodsman crew on YouTube. Make sure you hit that like button to get notifications when a new video drops, and check us out on Instagram and Facebook. Enjoy the race.
And we are back here on 10-4 Broadcasting. I want to thank everybody for joining us here at the Weekend Woodsman 100. Of course, we always want to thank Admin Box and Weekend Woodsman for coming on board here at the Virtual Racing Association. Interesting pit stops going on here. Because right now, Johnny Eckert is your leader with Dallas Myhan in second and Rawls in third. Tufts is all the way back to sixth right now. A couple of drivers are laps down now. Adam Peeler and Ethan are both a lap down, as well as Cody McLean.
Yeah, even though you mentioned that Caden Tufts is down a few spots on the grid, I'm not really worried about it. That 00 will make clean work of the rest of the field.
Yeah, he's back there. He's back there warming these babies up. I've never seen anybody else do that. He's back there spinning the tires out, getting them to get grip. So when they go green, they're going to be nice and hot, and they're going to stick.
Yes, sir. And I see him starting to climb through the grid once again. But right now, our race leader at the halfway point is going to be Johnny Eckert and Dallas Myhan right there. Now, we spoke about Dallas Myhan has a few wins on the season for Shift Esports. Watch out for the runs that they get here to start off, because he also has a teammate with Seth Ross right there here on this restart. We'll see how that plays out here at the drop of the green flag here once again.
Johnny Eckert gets a good start there. Down to the inside is going to be Rawls in that 25. Dallas is going to let him by. Gutierrez in fourth. Run that little higher line, letting those guys get on the inside. But once he gets that outside the stick, he's going to be able to go. Caden Tuft's going to come up right behind my hand right now. Oh, Gutierrez almost touches Dallas. Able to save it, keep it going. Caden Tufts had to drop back a little bit there, so he didn't get involved in anything. So now, lap 51 here, Caden Tufts sitting P5.
Yeah, he's already starting to climb through the grid
Woo!
once again right now.
Check up bad right there. Tarble almost got to the back of him, took him out. Oh, Tarble keeps getting real close to clipping him. These guys doing a great job. You know, Will, we've done a lot of broadcasts. I think you recently told me we're coming up on over 200 broadcasts. We've been doing this for over 2 years. I'm an OG, obviously, and you have been here for the second half of that. And I'm glad you've come on board. It's been great. You've been growing so much in each race that you do that you've been able to flourish and go all over the place. Flourish, was that the word I was looking for?
I think
Flourish.
So. I think that was the word. Yeah.
Okay, one of those F words. But I mean,
Yeah.
just week in and week out, we get to see great racing here at the Virtual Racing Association. And I honestly say, I don't think we've had a race where we were disappointed.
No, definitely not. And this is actually one of the first series that I get to work with here at Tim. You know, of course, we started off with stock car racing, but then these modifieds came along here. We really fell in love with these modified in this league at the Virtual Racing Association. We're ran by some awesome guys, Tim Conrad and Jordan Tarble, two awesome admins, very, very cool people. They actually are the geniuses behind the Weekend Woodsman there, that turkey montage that you see right there, as Seth Ross got a little sideways out of corner number 4 right there, still trying to keep that pace to chase down Johnny Eckert. Now it's a good thing to see that number 90 machine back in this field here tonight, because he's going to be a tough task right now at the top of the grid here on lap 58. Caden Tufts might have the speed to get up to him, but Johnny's not going to give up that position easy here tonight. But these modified cars are very, very fun. I want to go see them here at New Smyrna, about 2.5 hours away from me. One of these chances that we get, of course, not here in the next week or two with the hurricane coming in here in the next couple of days. But I've actually seen these modifieds up in New Hampshire, and these things, man, you have to see them in person. The sounds, the speed, just the way that these drivers are able to handle these race cars. It's crazy, Tim. You know, you're hitting, it might not be the fastest cars out on the track. You're hitting maybe 80, 90 miles an hour as you're going around some of these short tracks. But just the technicality, the way you have to race these things, just it makes for just the most beautiful racing experience you can imagine.
Yeah, and you know, I talk a lot of junk about New Hampshire Motor Speedway. I hate that place, but in its defense, I've only watched cup racing there, trucks, you know, NASCAR stuff. So I imagine in things like this, I imagine that track is 1,000 times better. We're still watching Caden Tufts here. This might be the longest time it's taken him to get around a group of guys. He just looks like he's really struggling in that air.
Yeah, definitely struggling to get around right there. As you see, he's trying to get around these cars. Now, Tim, I'm going to ask you here on lap 64, was that a good idea to head down pit road there, or would you have stayed out to try to push the envelope just a little bit more?
Well, I will say that I believe it was probably a good idea for other drivers. I'm not so sure about him, especially just seeing him struggle so much getting around these guys. But now he's pushing the envelope. He's like, you know what? I'm tired of dealing with Chris Gutierrez, but I'm gonna get him out of the way. But what he do? And he gets tagged and he's around.
And Caden Tufts is down
Oh,
for
no.
the count. Down goes Frazier. Down goes Frazier. Start the count now because Caden Tufts has crashed out on the front stretch right now on lap 66, and that was quite a hard impact there from our champion. I'm going to go ahead and crown him the champion here with the second to last race of the season here. And boy, was that a tough impact there for that 00.
You can see the whole front axle is broken. He's trying to get this thing around the track, caught back up to the field. He's obviously going to have to go down pit road. But you just look at that suspension. That whole front tire is just wonky.
Yeah, he's wibble wobbling himself down pit road right now. That thing is broken right now here on lap 68. But you look at what happened there, Tim. You see the shift on the grid right now. Shout out to Shift Esports, as now Seth Rawls is leading the way here in the Virtual Racing Association.
Now, what I'm trying to see is, does he still have... Oh, no. All right, so here's what I'm seeing, Will. So here's what happens. If you come down pit road, okay? He came down pit road last time around, okay? I think he accidentally, I can't tell. Oh, maybe not. Okay, maybe I'm wrong. Typically, you would see like the car snap back into place if he got a fast repair. But I thought he maybe have accidentally used it on his previous one. Because if you don't uncheck fast repair, it'll force you to take it even if you have no damage.
Yeah.
So, but it looks like he did use it because now the car looks much better.
And that's a great move from Caden Tufts there. Knowing that he had an accident there on the front stretch with only 30 laps to go, of course, he's going to put him at the tail end of the pack. But I've seen him come from worse adversity to win a race, and he's got plenty of laps to do it.
I apologize. Yes, he does. Right now, Seth Rawls is your leader. Johnny Eckert in second. Dallas Myhan in third. Alex Kenton in fourth. Chris Gutierrez in fifth. Jordan Tarble in sixth. Cody McLean in seventh. Cody was involved in early incidents, but back up here on the lead lap. Caden Tufts in eighth. Seventh. Okay, so Cody McLean was the lucky dog, so he's got to go to the tail end of the longest line. So that's why he's letting everybody go by.
You see right now, folks, we got about looking at around, if I do the math right now, 29 laps to go right now here tonight. These laps will tick down here in the Virtual Racing Association. But it's been quite a season, Tim. As mentioned when we started off this broadcast, it's been a lot of close races. Caden Tufts has had to put in the work to get his 5 wins on the season. Then other people have won this season as well. We have wins by Dallas Myhan, has won a couple races this season as well. You look at other drivers in the field, but here we go. We might go Green Flag Racing here once again, and we are Green Flag Racing as Seth Ross is going to take us down to corner number 1.
Man, and got to be careful on that outside lane. Jordan Tarble on the outside trying to get around Peeler, but now Caden Tufts to the inside of Jordan. Up front, Seth Ross still your leader. Oh, and Jordan goes way wide in that corner. He's going to let Caden Tufts just squeeze on by. And now Caden Tufts has to remember it's going to be kind of difficult the rest of this series, or the rest of this race, to get around these guys, because he's got to make sure he doesn't damage his car.
Yeah, very much so. You can't afford any more damage for that 00 right now on lap 74. We look at Dallas Myhan right there in the second or third position, trying to get around Johnny Eckert there in the 90. We have a race on our hands now, folks. No more lackadaisical leading the race. That's okay for the 00 of Caden Tufts. It's good for him to win as many races as we have this season. But right now we have a race battling out for the top of the grid. We have right now Seth Ross leading the way. Johnny Eckert right behind him in that number 90. And Dallas Myhan in that third position. Now all trying to fight for that lead here with 25 laps to go.
Oh, no! Eckert takes out Rawls. I say takes out because I'm not sure that was the appropriate move.
And that's why I'm saying Not the most knowledgeable response to a situation like that, I have to say, from my commentating experience, from Tim has mentioned. But that's all I gotta say about that one. As Forrest Gump once said, that's all I gotta say about
Oh,
that.
whoa, 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 whoa! Stop it! All right, we're gonna stop this. We're gonna go back. That's a hard one to watch, especially right here we're on board looking back. Okay, Rawls is just there. Johnny Eckert just goes down to the inside and just really. I don't want to use the word dumps, but I mean, um, oh no, look at Peeler. Is Peeler gonna? Ooh, oh
Oh, just a
man,
brush on the backside there for the 25. It looks like Seth went ahead and just let his hands off the wheel as he went sideways there, and I don't blame him. That's a bit tricky there.
man. Oh gosh, that actually might have taken Adam Peeler out. No, he kept going. Okay, it sounded really bad. And so now you're Seth Rawls. You got just knocked from first to 10th place. What are you gonna have to do to get back up there?
One thing I would do is I would take a deep breath right now. He's probably very hot in that cockpit, not because of the engine, not because of the heat here in Florida, but because of what just happened there between him and the 90 of Johnny Eckert. I would say just race as hard as you can for the next 22 laps. Keep your cool, keep your composure, race like you've been racing all night long, and hopefully when all the chips fall, you're maybe inside the top 3, top 5 when we get 3 to go, and just try to make a shot at it. Maybe even get back up there to that 90 of Johnny Eckert. Maybe put a little revenge tap on him, if you will. I'm not condoning that here on 10-4 Broadcasting, but it would be good to see that 25 back up in the mix.
Man, I am. Oof, that was tough to watch. Especially they're on the same team, right? Am I right?
I'd have to double check that. I think they are. I'm not sure. I have to double check. I know Dallas Myhan and Seth Rawls are from Shift Esports there. I know some of the drivers from Shift Esports run part-time schedules here, the Virtual Racing Association. Those are the two that stand out for me. But we'll have to see. If they are, they're not going to be teammates after tonight.
Yeah. Reminds me of the Jeff Gordon, Jimmy Johnson kind of battles there at the end of Gordon's career. He kind of just got tired of Gordon, or Gordon just got tired of Johnson winning it all the time. But back to green here. Eckert gets a great start. Oh man, Chris Gutierrez dives down there, does not hit Caden Tufts, but they are side by side. You can see Rawls back there already trying to get around Jordan Tarble.
Yeah, and you see, watch out. Now they are beating and banging these machines. I talked about earlier about how they can't do that. They didn't listen to me at all as they are beating and banging these modifieds here tonight. Oh my goodness, we almost have a slide coming out of corner number 2 right there. Man, these guys are battling it out here. Caden Tufts is now already back up into the mix, up into the 3rd position here as we cross the strike here with 16 laps to go.
Man, what my thing is when is Caden Tufts gonna strike? Because if he doesn't strike now, it could be too late. But then if he makes a mistake, it could be the end.
It could be the end indeed, but we all watched a day after tomorrow. The world may have ended, but that little group of people survived at the end. We see the 00 surviving here tonight, now trying to make a move on Dallas Myhan there in that 2nd position. Got a little loose off of corner number 4 right there as we dig down into 1. He's got to maintain that speed though, because there is a lot of speed at the top of the grid in that number 90 machine of Johnny Eckert, and Dallas Myhan wants to get his 3rd win of the season as well for Shift Esports here tonight as we cross the line heading down to corner number 1.
Doesn't really look like Caden Tufts is really gaining much on these guys. Just kind of, it could be his what's the word I'm trying to find? His strategy. There we go. To kind of sit back, let this unfold in front of him, and caution flag. Chris Gutierrez is around.
Yeah, that 99 has had a night to forget here tonight. Started inside of the front row, and things have just fallen ever since. Almost like the Indianapolis Colts season here tonight. That 99 has just fallen apart at the seams.
Oof, Rawls got right into the back of that 99, pushed him right up into that outside wall. Rawls is going to be aggressive to get back up there. He's now pushed himself up to fourth place. You can tell just by that. That is not something Rawls typically does, but he understands that he's got to go.
Yeah, and once we go green here, there's going to be probably around, I'm going to say, guesstimate around 7 or 8 laps when everything gets settled here. When we go green flag racing again, but 8 laps here at New Smyrna are going to fly by in a flash here, ladies and gentlemen. As we see right now, Johnny Eckert's still going to lead this race. Dallas Myhan in second. Caden Tufts in third, Seth Rawls in fourth, as you just mentioned. And one of the boss men here in the Virtual Racing Association, Jordan Tarble, is up in the 5th spot.
Got Ethan Makwa. What is
That sounds pretty good.
Makwa?
I'll go with that.
Okay. In 6th, Cody McLean in 7th, Adam Peeler in 8th, Alex Kenton in 9th, and of course, Chris Gutierrez sitting there in P10. But we are going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back after these messages.
Be sure to check out Tim Mayo Conrad and the Weekend Woodsman crew on YouTube. Make sure you hit that like button to get notifications when a new video drops, and check us out on Instagram and Facebook. Enjoy the race.
Yeah. Thank you. And we are back here at the Virtual Racing Association. Coming back to the green flag, Johnny Eckert's going to bring us to the green flag. Dallas Myhan, Caden Tufts, Seth Rawls. Who is going to win here at week 11? We are about to find out very shortly. Eckert gets a great start there. Now it's going to be left to the rest of these guys to handle it amongst themselves. Oh, Rawls got close to the outside wall. Caden Tufts all over the back bumper of Dallas Myhan. Head turn through turns 3 and 4.
Yes, sir. And you see right up at the top of the grid, Johnny Eckert's looking so fresh and so clean with those pink rims on that number 90 machine here at the top of the grid. Dallas Myhan in second right there. Shout out to Outkast. You know, if you don't know that song, go look it up on Spotify. It is a banger for sure. So is this race here tonight in the Weekend Woodsman 100. We didn't start out this way though, Tim. Caden Tufts stretched his lead to about 5 or 6 seconds. Caution flag flew, and then Caden Tufts ran into a bit of trouble himself here. But now with 6 laps to go right now at New Smyrna, 5 laps to go as we cross that strike. Still, Johnny Eckert's going to lead us around the track, and it looks like he's starting to separate there in that 90 machine.
Yeah, that's something I'm going to take a look at really quick. Johnny Eckert, where is he? Oh, caution flag. We spoke too soon. Cody McLean. Oh, this is a replay. I clicked it too fast. Cody McLean on the outside of Kenton. Oh, just gets taken right around, not able to save it. Man, that is not something. I don't know who that benefits and who it hurts. I think it hurts Johnny Eckert because now he's gonna have Caden Tufts starting right behind him.
Yeah, and Cody McLean has not ran a clean race here tonight in that 5 machine. Has been up on the wall, has been spinning here tonight. Him and Chris Gutierrez are ready for the regular season finale here, the end of the season here in the Virtual Racing Association at 5 Flags. I think they've all but packed those cars up and headed to the next track the way these races have been here tonight at New Smyrna. But as you mentioned though, Tim, Caden Tufts is going to be right there in that 00. We're essentially going to have a green-white checkered here in the second to last race of the season.
Unbelievable. We're going to come back to a green-white checkered here in the Virtual Racing Association Weekend Woodsman 100 right here on 10-4 Broadcasting. Want to remind everybody, next week is the final week here for the Virtual Racing Association Season 2. we'll be heading into season 3, and when we have all those details, we will give you all those details. But here tonight, Johnny Eckert is your current leader. Pace lights are on right now. Dallas Myhan in second, Caden Tufts in third. It looks like Johnny Eckert's going to take that outside lane to start here, Will.
Yeah, and I'm not sure about that. We've seen the inside lane have the most speed here on these restarts. But Johnny Eckert starting off on the outside, you're going to watch Caden Tufts follow Dallas Myhan here when this green flag drops. So it's really going to put Johnny Eckert there behind the 8 ball. We also see Seth Ross up there on the top side on the outside lane as well. So we're going to have essentially a 4-car battle here. But watch when this green flag drops, who gets the jump on the restart. That's been the advantage all race long here. If you can get off to a rocket restart here, you can really check out here with 3 laps to go.
And that pace car's lights are off. Going to head down here, down pit road momentarily. And then it's all in the hands of Johnny Eckert. Green flag. Johnny Eckert gets a great start. Ross to the outside of Caden Tufts. 2 laps to go here. Caden Tufts on the inside of Rawls. Rawls powers by him on the outside.
Yeah, Seth Ross is trying to eat up the grid right now with 2 laps to go. He might run out of laps. So now Caden Tufts is way to the inside. This is the final lap here in the second to last race of the season. Now Johnny Eckert there in that 90 is going to lead us around corner number 2 down the backstretch right now. Looks like that number 90 is going to take that so fresh and so clean number 90 machine into victory lane as he has no competition crossing the line.
There was a lot of things going on here. Caden Tufts doesn't even come home with a podium tonight, Will.
Ooh, shut out of a podium for that 0-0. A night that he wants to forget after having about a 5 or 6 second lead here at New Smyrna. But it's going to be the number 90 of Johnny Eckert here picking up a huge win here in the Virtual Racing Association. A part-time driver here has had to miss some races due to his busy schedule there in the Dynasty Stock Car Racing League. He's an admin there in that league, but here tonight he shows his skill in iRacing, shows his skill in the modifieds, and now he is burning it down here on the front stretch.
Man, what a great job by him, by Dallas Myhan, Rawls. This could be some interesting interviews here.
Yep, it might be a little heated there. Might have to get some referees into the mix as well. Might be some helmets flying down pit road the way this race is played out here tonight. But one driver that showed out is definitely Johnny Eckert there in that number 90 machine. He's not going to have the best of friend there in Seth Ross there after that move just but a few laps ago. Seth Ross, though, is able to overcome that, scrape out a podium finish here tonight. Pretty solid there, but we see Shift Esports go 2-3 on the grid.
And Will, I think you've caught up with Seth Rawls.
Oh.
Yeah, I have caught up with the number 25 machine of Seth Ross. And Seth, I know you're probably a little heated. Maybe you've calmed down a little bit from what happened between you and that 90 machine. But take us through your race here tonight. And although you're going to come home third, it's going to be just a tad bit disappointing, seeing as though you had one of the fastest cars out there.
Yeah, I think it was I think Johnny had the right to do that. I did throw a little bit of a block there in the back stretch. Wish I had a little more lenience, but that's racing. It's modified racing. New Smyrna, tough track to pass that, so you're kind of put in the situation where you have to make those moves. But yeah, the track was fun. It was definitely challenging, like Nashville. But you just really couldn't find anywhere to go around the cars. But I had a fast car. I feel like I had to make a call there at the second or third to last yellow, staying out while everyone else took 2. Gotta try something here to get track position. So it didn't work out, obviously, but fought back for 3rd place. Sorry to Chris there. I was looking at the replay, but I think he kind of checked up and the kind of lag bubbled into him because I really didn't hit him that hard on what I felt like, and all of a sudden he went around. It was kind of crazy, but yeah.
Gonna come home third here tonight, Seth Ross. But I wanted to speak to you a little bit about that race because we saw Caden Tufts really stretch out to a lead about 5 or 6 seconds. We had a caution flag fly that really bunched everybody back up, and then Caden had problems himself. Did you feel like when you saw that 0-0 have a bit of trouble there, that the door really opened for the rest of the field there, including that stable of drivers you have at Shift Esports?
Yeah, I think it was an interesting strategy call. I don't know if he forgot or just missed the pit, or it looked like he was pitting and he faked it. Um, but then he came back in, then he came in after we already pitted, so he lost track position. When that was the big thing all night, track position. And once he got stuck back there, and they got in that wreck with off of 4 there, it was tough. But I think it opened the door for us at shift. Me and Dallas had good cars. It was tough to again get around people, but I got some laps led and you know, good podium finish. Not bad.
Yeah, great finish here tonight for Shift Esports. But looking forward to next week, our final race of the season. Caden Tufts is all but wrapped it up there in that double zero as far as the points championship goes. But what can you take as a team and as a driver yourself from that last race of the season that maybe you can carry forth into the next season?
Yeah, it's been a great season. We got some wins. Obviously, kind of missed out on the championship standings, but just because we had the rotation of drivers and Nathaniel's out tonight. Unfortunately, hopefully he'll get better soon with his foot. Um, it was a good season though, a successful season. Wish we got a championship, but props to Caden there. Going to 5 flags, I think just gonna go for a win to cap up the season on a high note. Do you guys know if it's a night race or a day race?
Does not tell us.
Because today I thought it was gonna be a night race. I never ran New Smyrna at daytime, so that was a weird
Oh,
feeling.
definitely. But Seth, with that podium finish here tonight, love to give you drivers the opportunity to shout out anybody you had watching here tonight, any sponsors that may have made this race possible, and where people can find more information about you or Shift Esports on social media.
Yeah, shout out to Shifty Sports, obviously. You can follow us at Shifty Sports _ on Twitter or at Shifty Sports on Instagram. Been building a great group of people there and a bunch of sponsors, a good community. We have our own Discord page. It's pretty sick. Definitely check us out. And we've been competing in this league, also DSCR, DSCR and OSCA, and we do a bunch of other leagues too. Shout out to myself, Seth Rawls Design. I make paint schemes, logos, you name it. Go to SethRawlsDesign.com for all that kind of stuff. And then lastly, Launch Partners, great partner. They hopped on the season for all my rides, so couldn't be more thankful for them. They're a great company that helps in social media marketing. So they'll do social media marketing for you, graphic design, you name it. Great group of guys, and you can check them out at launchpartners.com. And thank you guys for broadcasting the race.
Of course, Seth, and I might see you tomorrow there in the Dynasty Stock Car Racing League there, depending on how this hurricane goes. For me here, looks like it's going to be a direct hit for my city here tonight, but we'll see that 25 machine in the Dynasty Stock Car Racing League tomorrow, and we'll see you back here on 10-4 broadcasting next Tuesday night. We appreciate you taking the time with us here, my man. Enjoy that podium finish, and have a great night.
Sounds great. Stay safe. Thank you guys.
Yes, sir.
Man, Will, what a great drive for Rawls there at the end, coming back from uh, that situation with Eckert. I mean, coming back to get a podium finish, I would take that. And he took it better than I expected. I didn't think he put a block, but he felt that he did. And it takes a lot to own up to that if you felt you did that. So shout out to Ross for that. And believe I have caught up with Dallas Myhan coming home in P2. Dallas, kind of take us through your race tonight.
It was pretty uneventful for the most part. I wish I had a few more laps, more than the past Eckert. I think I was faster than him most of this race, early in the race, but untimely cautions and a slow pit stop hurt me to put me behind him in these restarts.
I was going to say, I thought you, out of everybody, you had a pretty quiet race. You're just kind of going around out there doing what you need to put yourself in that position at the end of the race. You're actually the biggest mover of the race tonight, up 5 spots since the drop of the green flag. I believe, if I remember correctly, your qualifying didn't go the way you wanted it to. Cause I think you got into the wall. I don't remember exactly,
Yeah,
but
twice.
okay, yeah. So not the way you wanted qualifying to go, but able to recoup, bring it back out here, and bring it home for a podium, finishing P2 to Johnny Eckert. I mean, gave it a great run. Is there anything that you think you could have done different to get the result that you wanted?
Probably execute better on pit road. I was past him doing my pit stop, and he's passed me back with those like nitrous he got in pit road somehow. But I don't want to speed too much, but you don't want to speed also
Yep.
because it's tough. It was tough to pass tonight. It was a one lane. It was unfortunately a one lane racetrack again.
Now, um, with these tires, what was the tire wear like?
Um, so after that first run, it was basically just after that you just take two tires because the left side did not wear at all. I think after that first run we had with a pit stop, so it was like 96% on the lefts, and that's not much at all. With that kind of percentage, you could just take two tires on the right sides.
Okay, that's what I was wondering. I didn't know if maybe uh, one of those cautions you could have possibly not taken those tires, but I didn't know how bad the situation with the tire wear was going to be. So,
Yeah, it was a little bit different. Seth stayed out one caution, and it was hurt him pretty well on off exit because Eckert just had way better off run off than Seth did. And yeah, it's just fortunate that I came on P2, and yeah.
awesome. Well, anybody you want to give a shout out to?
Oh yeah, you guys at VRA, guys at 10-4 Broadcasting, SR Design, Mohawk Foundation, Shift Esports, and can't wait for next week be the season finale, and hope it runs strong next week.
Awesome. Well, we look forward to seeing you next week at the season finale at Five Flags, and we wish you good luck, and we'll see you next week.
Yep, thank you guys.
Man, and I'll tell you, Will, that is one of the hardest things to deal with yourself uh, is it happening on pit road. I had a situation where um, I was running great. I think I was running P3 at a race in the truck series that I was in, and I made the wrong call on pit road, and I lost all the positions that I had. Ended up getting in a wreck. So the pit stops can make or break you to get that win.
They really do, and even in a short race like this, only 100 laps at New Smyrna, it really goes to show how important that pit strategy is. When to time it just right, how to calculate it just right, and then there's also the science of making sure you hit your boxes right down pit road. So even though we're playing a simulator here, folks, when you head down pit road, there's a million things that go through your head. Am I getting the right things? Am I going to time this just right? Am I going to hit my box just right? There's so many things to calculate there down pit road.
Yeah, but even coming home P2, I take he finished ahead of Caden Tufts. I take that as well. It's like two wins, to get in a podium and taking care of that. But I believe you've caught up with our winner, Johnny Eckert.
I'm caught up with our winner here tonight. He is rocking the FC Byron logo for his name profile here tonight, but he is rocking that so fresh and so clean. Pink rim number 90 machine in victory lane. Johnny Eckert, you break through here in the Virtual Racing Association. Break down how you did it here tonight at New Smyrna.
Uh, I kind of held on for dear life. I didn't really have the pace that Caden had. I don't know. I don't know if I juked him out on the first stop or not, but it seemed like I did. But yeah, I think that kind of defined the race for me at least. Just kind of holding on to what I got, and after that first run, putting fresh tires on the car, I kind of figured out that I was driving it wrong the first run. So I cleaned up my line a little bit. Still wasn't great towards the end of the race, but I think it was a lot better. So it definitely helped me you know get um, get past that lack of experience that I have here in this car.
Yeah, and one thing I wanted to mention to you too, I mean, the race as it started, you were a top three, top five car all night long, even though you didn't feel like you had the speed. Once you saw that 00 start to have issues, that caution flag started to fly as well. Did you feel like the door starting to open for that number 90 machine to maybe break through and finally get into victory lane?
Yeah, I the door open. I felt like the door opened when that caution came out. But it was more. I was wondering how quickly he would get through the field because he had significant pace advantage. It seemed like. Um, Now again, I think I was a little bit sloppy on the first run, so maybe it wasn't as big as it seemed on the first run. Um, or in the second run at least compared to the first run. But as the race went on, I learned a little bit, and then it was kind of about defending what I had. I ran at the Iowa race. I opted to not pit, or I opted to pit, and half the field did not pit, and it ended up burning me. So I figured today was a good opportunity to go do the opposite and try to hold on towards the end of the race, even though I figured that fresher tires might help. It might be just a tenth or two faster a lap. Caden with that advantage didn't have it, so didn't have enough to get through the field quickly, or as quickly as I expected. So, you know, those two things between the caution and kind of getting stuck in traffic, I figured that the door was wide open.
Yeah, and we saw that there at the end. The restarts really came into play as well. We saw you restart from the inside, and then on that last restart, you restart from the outside. Did it really matter where you restarted there at the top of the grid, as long as you can just get that jump?
Yeah, I mean the jump was the important thing, but I was more concerned that if we had another caution, putting Caden behind me or next to me on the front row. So if I restarted on the
Ah.
bottom and he got to the inside of Dallas and then took the spot, if we had another caution, I was a little bit more concerned about having Caden directly behind me. I mean, Dallas was quick, but I didn't think I was consistent enough to hold Caden back if he was in the position to uh, it, consistent enough line wise to hold him off. So I was a little bit I was thinking more about that. I knew that as long as I could get into turn one clear by about half a car length or so, that I was in good shape. I just needed to then get through the lap. So it was kind of like stages. You get to turn one, then you get to the end of the first lap, and then from there figure out where we're at. But um, yeah, I mean, once we took the white flag, I was concerned. I was a little bit concerned about how far back Dallas was, because I knew that there was an opportunity to throw it in and potentially just give me a nudge to move me out of the way. But yeah, it did not. He didn't. I think he was just like half a car length, maybe a car length too far out. So yeah, it was interesting finish.
Now, I can almost hear the smile on your face, the excitement, what this means to you here, the second to last race of the season. We head to Five Flags next week. Johnny, what can you take out of that last race of the season? I can hear the happiness and what this means to you here at New Smyrna. You're going to try to go back to back at Five Flags next week, or are you just looking forward to next season?
Yeah, I don't really know what to make of Five Flags yet. I haven't been able to make all the races this season. But the ones that I have made, have been a learning experience. So I don't imagine next week's going to be much different. Not sure what to really make of it. You know, Hopefully we'll come in there with a little bit of pace and start qualifying out in a decent spot with a little bit of confidence, kind of like I had a little bit tonight, going into qualifying. Um, but yeah, then it's just kind of trying to keep the nose clean and staying out of trouble.
Well, Johnny, you ran one heck of a race here tonight. A big congratulations from us here at 10-4 Broadcasting. You've shown the speed all season long. Of course, been a little overshadowed from Caden Tufts there in that 00. But tonight is your night as you are the champion here at New Smyrna. You are on the top of the grid here. So go celebrate a little bit here tonight. We'll see you at Five Flags next week here on 10-4 Broadcasting. Congratulations once again and enjoy the rest of your night.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Oh, real quick, I just want to
Oh,
thank Dynasty DSCR Dynasty for coming on board. Um, Thank you guys, broadcasting, Jordan Tarble, and the rest of the VRA guys for putting on the show. Jordan, has been keeping me up to date while while I've been out of the car the last few weeks, just with scheduling conflicts. But I also got to thank Jake Bustos and DJ Weeks who were helping me out a little bit in practice and just kind of trying to another set of eyes, keeping an eye on what I was doing wrong. So. What they thought I was doing wrong, at least. So I want to thank them as well. And yeah, look forward to Five Flags next week. Have a good one, guys.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
See you, buddy.
See ya.
Man, Will, what a great race here tonight. Uh, it's funny, we typically aren't told whether a track's going to be during the day or night. So it was funny hearing um, one of the drivers bring that up because I'm telling you, if you go out there and practice this track in the night, it's going to feel much different than it does during the day. Because I'm going to tell you, um, there was a time when it was NASCAR sim racing. I always wanted to be racing Daytona when it was nice and cool because that thing was a hot rod. But just everything matters. It matters what the track temperature is. It matters if the sun is out or not. I mean, there's just a lot that goes into this sim racing. That I think a lot of people who don't race, they're not going to know those things.
No, and if they don't know the state of Florida, it's hot every day down here. So if
24/7.
you think even during the nighttime it's gonna get cool on the track, it might get a little cooler. It might go from 100 degrees maybe down to 95 degrees. That's amount of a temperature difference that you'll have here at New Smyrna. But one driver that was very hot tonight, that is the number 90 machine of Johnny Eckert. Of course, we saw Caden Tufts with his issues here tonight. Is able to still scrap out a top 5 finish, but that is not where he likes to be in that 00. No podium for the 00 of Caden Tufts here tonight. That might be his first non-podium finish of the season here.
You know what? I'm going to go
That's
look.
okay. He's already celebrated. He's already popped his champagne last week and the week before, knowing that he's locked in that championship at the end of the season. It's almost like a team that's wrapped up that playoff berth before the playoffs have even started. They've already celebrated. They've already checked out, benched their starters, if you will. Caden's just waiting until the end of the season where we can make it official. But one heck of a race, though, once again from Shift Esports, finishing second and third here tonight. They always show out here tonight, or in the Virtual Racing Association, Tim.
And you are 100% correct on that Caden Tuff statistic. This is his first non, um, what's the word? Podium.
Podium.
Yeah. So that's wild. That's a wild statistic. Sitting here, 52 points in the lead above Nathaniel Cherry, who did not make it tonight. Chris Gutierrez might be able to make that pass on Nathaniel Cherry. He was only 12 points behind. He now, I think, can make that pass with where he finished tonight. We will have to take a look next week just before the start of the race. But I want to remind you, next Tuesday will be the season finale here at the Virtual Racing Association. Going to be racing at Five Flags out of Pensacola, another Florida track. And as always, make sure you check us out on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Check out 10-4 Broadcasting. And we will see all of you next week